Hey everybody, welcome back to Book Psych. I'm Misha Greaves, and I have an interesting book to talk about. So, I just finished up Envy by Sandra Brown. She is another one of my favorite authors because I've read quite a few of her books, which I'm in the process of rereading so I can do a quick review for you. I got into Sandra Brown, so many years ago. We'll just say 15 or more, okay? She just very, very gripping author. This book, among others of hers, when she writes, she grabs your attention. So Envy is about exactly what it says, envy. All right. But the way Sandra Brown does it, it's done in a way where you're not exactly who is envious of who over what. So, and you're going through the process trying to figure out, does this pertain to now? Is it from the past? Is it regarding the future? Is it a story? You have all these questions that kind of pop up in your mind. So, her storylines are they're amazing. But for lack of better words, they are amazing, okay? And this one, okay, obviously, we got to get into the human behaviors and everything. So the main characters are Maris Reed, or Maris Maverly Reed, Noah Reed, and PME. All right, I'm gonna leave it there because I want to tell you the third character's name. It would kind of mess up the story for you. All right, and I try not to give spoilers. So, knowing the three characters, okay, their storyline, obviously somewhere along the line, there's gonna be a love triangle, okay? If you got three main characters, that's kind of common sense. The book is basically about an author who submits a manuscript to Maris, and she takes on this project of working with the author to get his story to print. Now, where the emotion envy comes in is such a twist, and there's so many turns in the book that you're sitting there and you're like, oh my god, you have to kind of keep reading. It's one of those books where you're gripping your seat like, oh my god, what's gonna happen next, okay? Where is he? Oh, I can't believe he did this. I can't believe she's going to do that. It's one of those type of books. Okay, so let's just skip to the emotions, the human factors, the human behaviors, okay? Before I end up giving too much of the story away. So one of the human behaviors that I noticed that I thought was kind of pretty important to talk about was the fact of feeling needy. I know a lot of women today, whether they're in the beginning stages of dating, whether they're in relationships, or whether or not they've been in long-term relationships, every woman goes through that period of, questioning, am I a needy person? Am I feeling needy? And they second guess themselves when they compare it to what they want from their mate. As I tell anybody, okay, when it comes to dating, be sure you know who you are first, okay? Because if you don't know who you are, unfortunately in relationships, until we grow to a maturity, we tend to use things that we know the other one is insecure about to hurt each other, all right? That's definitely not a good sign in a relationship, but it does happen. So you want to make sure that you are secure enough in yourself. If you're secure with yourself, then you're going to be able to get through that stage of relationships and hopefully move past it, all right? You don't want to be in relationships where you're constantly picking up insecurities. I think it's a phase that most relationships go through. The unhealthy ones stay there and they develop those traits in each other. and then it becomes just about hurting each other. More healthy, progressive relationships, when you're learning someone, you start to understand, okay, you know what, this person is not out to hurt me, but they're hurt right now and they're lashing out. And somewhere along the line, one of you has to become brave enough to say, I'm not going to do this anymore because it's only hurting me and it's hurting you, the person that I love. All right, so back to that feeling needy, okay? A lot of times, our significant others will use that to hurt us, all right? They know that we are a very open, affectionate person. Public displays of affection don't bother us. We like to spend time with the person. You know, that's not a needy person. That's a person who wants to share their life with you. And there's a big, big difference between sharing their life with someone and being needy. Be confident in who you are and what you want out of a relationship. That, I think, was demonstrated extremely well in Maris's character. Sandra Brown showed that no matter what she was feeling in her relationship, okay, and she shared this information with her family, with her father, she expressed her unhappiness in her relationship. She expressed it, but her father also knew the type of person that she was. And don't discount friendships. Friendships are the ones that help you understand what's good and what's bad in your life, because they are that person on the outside looking in that can give you advice that maybe you just can't see because you're too close to the relationship. You're too closely involved. Okay? But her father was the one that helped encourage her to continue to believe in herself, believe in her gut instincts, okay? Believe in her confidence in herself. Sometimes you need that. Now, the other human relationship, okay? And I think this is another very important one, is to understand when it's time to get out of an unhealthy relationship. Staying in an unhealthy relationship only brings more hurt and pain. You know what this person is going to do. You know what your significant other is going to do to hurt you. Now, whether or not that hurt comes in the form of mental, emotional, physical abuse, it is still abuse. And it's an unhealthy relationship. The person who's on the receiving end of that abuse doesn't deserve that. That abuse comes from something that is broken in the other person, and they need to work on that. You cannot stay in a relationship thinking and hoping and praying that the other person will one day realize what they're doing. It doesn't work like that. It might work like that in the books, and I've yet to see a book where it did work like that, but it definitely doesn't work in real life. And again, even though I am saying, and I believe there's a lot of psychology in books to help us with our relationships, okay? Understand still, things are always going to work out, okay, in the books. Their whole purpose is to get to that happy ending, all right? In life, in real life, we can take aspects of the psychology, of the things that are transpiring within those relationships and apply it to our life. But we still have to realize this is real life. It's not going to play out the same way. All right? There is no happy ending that's automatically written at the end of our book. We decide that happy ending. We decide what our fantasy is, and we decide what our reality is. Through our choices, through our decisions, we build that bridge between that reality and that fantasy. Okay, so understanding when to get out of a bad relationship or unhealthy relationship is very, very key to your happiness, and ultimately it could be the key to the other person getting the help that they need. So, again, in the relationship, okay, and I don't want to tell you too much about who the relationship is that she's in, that she learned all of these things with, but Maris learned that as well. It got to a point where she decided, okay, you know what? No, I got the evidence that I need. I know exactly what's going on. I know you don't love me. I know this. I know that. I know, there's a lot of things, okay, that she learned. And I'm trying not to tell you what they are, but there are things, specific things that she learned, okay? And that helped her make that decision. Yes, this is not a good relationship. This is unhealthy. This is not working out. And then she took the steps to get out of it. And she was brave about it, because the other thing is, if you make a decision that's going to benefit you and get out of that relationship, the other person is not going to be happy about it. And they're going to do everything they can to dissuade you, because misery loves company, so they don't want you to leave. You have to be strong enough not to fall for their antics. Don't fall for whatever stories or promises that they come up with. Because at this point, for you to determine that it's an unhealthy relationship, that means they've done this several times. They've done this so many times that you know deep down it's not ever going to change. Okay? You can't change anybody. And I think we need to stop thinking that we can. All right? We can't. They change themselves. We won't want anybody coming in and changing us. We decide our own fantasy. So I would have to say that envy, if you haven't already picked up on the fact, Envy by Sandra Brown would be a wow factor book for me. The first time I read it, I was floored. I was stunned. I could pick up on a lot of the storyline. I knew where it was going. I knew who did this and who did that. But there was a twist that got me at the end, and it was like, I did not see that coming. So that I think that's the stuff that gives you that wow factor in you. The fact that you need to constantly keep reading, and you're like, oh, I gotta get stopped, I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done. But you still keep reading because you can't put that down. All right? This is definitely one of those books that you just cannot put down. You need to find out. So I truly, truly, truly encourage you to read this book. It's an excellent book. You will enjoy it. So I encourage you, go pick it up. Yes, it's an older book, but it still is something that you can reread and still enjoy so many times over. Envy by Sandra Brown. All right, guys, so drop me a comment. Let me know what you think or what you don't like. Love to hear from you. And please hit that button and subscribe so you can find out what my thoughts are on some more books. I have a lot more books coming up.